Good day, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Soup Bowl, where I'm your host, Renee Murdoch. I am happy that you are tuning in, listening in, and going on this life journey with me. I'm happy to be going on this life journey with you because we were never meant to do life alone. So we're in the Soup Bowl, and hey, it gets messy sometimes when you're leading your own life. Look, last week, okay, let me give a disclaimer real quick because there is my sinuses and everything that is messing with me I'm sorry, my allergies. And so took some medicine. I went on a trip and I forgot my allergy medicine and I was like, I should be good. It's only 4 days. Ha! It was not good. And so here we are. So there's overcast that's coming in and out, so the lighting may come in and out. But all in all, it's hella hot outside. Let me just say that. So I don't want to go to hell, right? Because it's hot outside the way it is now. But anyway, so what are we going to get into today? Well, this is what I want to talk about because last week we kind of went in and talked about, us as parents, those of us that are parents, and we have school-age children, right? Middle schoolers, junior highers, high schoolers, right? And they're going off into college. And we talked about that and about how we need to change our approach when our children get to a certain age and how we need to learn how to stop hovering over them, being that helicopter parent, and allowing them to grow and to mature and come into their own self, right? And letting them go and be all that they can be, right? But be all that they can be. And so now I want to talk to young adults. Those of you who are just graduating high school, who have already graduated, maybe graduated college, and maybe you're just at home, right? And you're trying to figure things out. And this is one thing that I believe that we kind of have. I don't know, there's just a plus and a minus. I don't want to say we messed up in reference, but I think as far as like what people believe to be true, which is actually not true, that when you turn 18 that you are an adult. You're not, I'm sorry, your age does not make you an adult, right? So we're going to be talking about how do you really actually become an adult and can say, I am an adult, right? Because I was telling someone on the phone, I'm a good and grown adult. I'm a good adult, right? I'm good and grown. I've been out here adulting for some years now, actually centuries. And so I can actually say I'm an adult, right? And you cannot. And there's a reason why, right? And there's multiple things. So I want to go through these steps. We might not get through all of them because I count them as being maybe 7 or 8 of them. But the first thing is finishing your education, right? Whether that be high school, which should be number 1, right? We all should be out here finishing that. If you say high school is not for me, go ahead and test yourself out, right? And then go on about your business, right? Maybe you want to go off to a vocational school, a trade school, you want to go off to college, you want to just start a career, right, in a particular industry, right? But look, all of it's about learning. All of it is about putting yourself in a position of learning because we do not know all things. And to put yourself in a position of learning, you must first learn to listen. You cannot be talking and listening at the same time. Okay, let me say that again. You cannot be talking and listening at the same time. So if I'm putting myself in a position of learning, then I'm not talking. I am consuming, absorbing the information that is being rendered unto me. Not only that, but I'm taking that information and I'm making that information what? Actionable. I'm applying that information to my life, whatever that information may be. And I say that to say this because, again, we believe, you young people, maybe not all of you, believe that when you turn 18 or you're a senior in high school or whatnot, or that you're an adult. Oh, I'm about to be an adult. They can't tell me what to do. Okay, let's start right here. Are you making yourself, putting yourself in a position to learn, to grow? Because when you're putting yourself in a position to learn and grow, that means that you're listening, right, to those who have went on before you, who have experienced life before you, and they're trying to teach you some things so you don't make the same mistakes. And maybe they're not mistakes, or just have just a clear path, a clear pathway, right, to get to where you would like to go. That's first, education. Because education is not just going to a higher institute, but education could also be listening to those who have authority over you. Those who have authority over you. And when we get into a position where we don't feel like we have to listen to our parents anymore, or our grandparents, or those other adults that are in our lives, then you are dull of hearing. You are no longer putting yourself in a position of learning, growing, right? Getting some skill development, right? To help you in your path, in your career path that you're choosing. Again, whether you choose to go to college, vocational, whatnot, there needs to be some skill development. And I tell you, the very first one that a lot of people mess up on is listening. You can learn a lot by listening. Okay, let's talk about this other one, number 2. So most people think this is number 1, but I really believe that the first one, education, right? Because you can get educated in your home. Hello, okay? Washing them dishes, taking out the trash, cleaning your room, and not only when your parent is telling you to do it, but on a daily basis, picking up after yourself. Hello, how about helping out around the house when someone is not asking you to do it, but you know that it needs to get done? Cleaning out the refrigerator, cutting the grass, right? Trimming up the edging up the yard, trimming up the bushes or whatnot, sweeping and mopping the floor, cleaning the bathroom that even you don't use, but it's a communal space. How about that? How about that? You can learn a lot there. Okay, moving on to number 2. Financial independency. Now, let me say that again. Financial independency. Young people, let's I love wordsmithing a lot with young people. And this is the reason why. Because we like to take certain things like, oh, I'm independent, I'm grown, and this and that. Are you? Are you? Just hold tight with me here. Google, what does independence mean?
Here's the definition of independence. The fact or state of being independent.
The fact or state of being independent. Freedom from outside control or support. I'm going to say that again. Freedom from outside control or support. When you are still under your parents or guardians, they still have some means of control. How is that? Well, they'll tell you, turn the lights off. They'll tell you your shower, your bath, whatever, so you've been running the water too long. They'll tell you, don't eat up all the cereal in one setting. Save some for other people in the house. They'll tell you when and when you can't utilize your phone or whatnot. Why? Because you're still up under their control. So you are not independent. You're actually codependent. When do you become independent? Well, let me tell you. When you're paying your own way. Let me lean in just a little bit closer. Bring your ear just a little bit closer. When you're paying your own way. I'm not trying to be snarky, but okay. If you're still living at home and you have graduated high school, or maybe you just got your GED, whatever, you're done with high school, and you're still living at home, you are not independent. You're not. I'm sorry, you're not. You're not. And so that tells me that you're not out here adulting because you are not paying your own way. If you are not, now some of y'all are like, I pay some bills when I'm at my parents' house. Okay. Are you on a lease? Are you on a lease? If the answer to that question is no, then you are still not adulting. You are still not paying your way because your parent giving you the electricity bill or giving you the cable bill, sir, ma'am, you are still not adulting. When you have the bills in your name and Verizon, Comcast, Novak, when they looking for you, when they're calling you to pay that bill, you're an adult. You're out here adulting. But if they're still sending those bills to your parents and it's in your parents' names, then you're not adulting. You are still codependent. If you are looking for your parent or guardian to pay your way when y'all go on a trip, sir, ma'am, you are still, let me say it again, you are still codependent because an adult is not looking for anyone to pay their way when they go out to eat, when they go out on trips. They're not looking for anything. They're not begging or making, certain comments or whatever to try to convince their friends or whatnot to pay their way. No, because they know that if I'm going to go to the movies, I'm going to have to buy my own ticket. They know if I'm going to go on this cruise, I'm going to have to pay for my own cabin. If I'm going to go, I need to pay for my own plane ticket. They're not thinking like, oh, my parents or them are going on a trip. Oh, I'm about to be in on that. And then looking sideways when your parent tell you that you can't go because you didn't pay your way. And then you want to have a tantrum. You want to have tantrum. Okay, but you're an adult though, right? You're an adult. And so when we as parents start to challenge you young people to becoming adults, you tend to want to become dull to hearing. We are not saying things to make you suffer. We are not saying things to make your life miserable. No, we're saying things to get you to be independent and not codependent. See, again, from last week, we have done some things that were not so great. Parents, listen up, that have allowed our adult children, 18 and up, to live in our homes and not get them to the point where they need to be independent. And so this codependency, right, there's always going to be this friction that stands there because they see themselves as adults and you still see them as a child because you're still taking care of them as a child, right? But they're like I'm 18, I'm 19, I'm 20, whatever. But they want to be treated as an adult, but you're still treating them as a child. So you have to treat them like an adult. And becoming an adult is not easy, sir, ma'am. No one said it was going to be, roses and daffodils and dandelions and lilies and green, beautiful grass and sunshine. No one said it was going to be that way. No, it's not. It's not. It's going to be some thorns and some bushes and some rain and some cloudiness that's going to be taking place. Right? Because there is a pruning process that is taking place from your codependency into independency. Right? Next thing, do you have your own bank account? We're still talking about number 2. I know we sitting here a little bit. We're going to sit here. Do you have your own bank account? Is that bank account in your name? Do you have direct deposits going into that bank account? Do you have savings? Or are you just living from paycheck to paycheck? Because you want to do what you want to do with your money because you ain't got no real bills out here in these streets. So you buying clothes, you buying food, you're doing what you want to do with your money. But what really needs to be done, right? You're unable to do it. So there goes that codependency that you still have. Because where is your investments? Where is your savings? Right? Where I always say this. Well, this is in the word, right? So where your treasure is, right? Whatever those treasures are, is really where your heart is at. It's really what you're about. So if you're always going out to eat, then that's what you're about, right? If I look at my bank account and I see where majority of my money is going to, then that tells me what I believe is priority. Let's think about that. What is priority? So are you willing to get there? So I'm saying this because number 1 is first because it's education. Because if I'm listening and putting myself in a position to learn and to grow, then when someone is talking to me about my finances or talking about financial savviness and responsibilities, that I'm listening to what they're saying and that I'm taking what they're saying and I'm making it applicable to my personal life. So when my parent or my guardian is talking to me about my spending, I'm not catching an attitude. I'm actually listening to what they're saying. If they're telling me I need to reconcile my account at the end of the week, I need to be aware of what's going in and what's going out. They're telling me this for a reason. Or do we want to be dull of hearing? See, we're talking about becoming an adulting, right? Adulting. And so that goes into if your parent or your guardian, because you decided you was going to stay at home, decides to put you on a lease, would you be able to afford that lease? Or you going to be like, oh, they going to charge me, they my parents, I'm good, right? So you want to leave up out of here. Sir, ma'am, there's the door. Go out there into the world, which is not kind to any of us. You can make it though, you can make it. But I can tell you this, that going, under your parents' rule and they're moving you into this realm of adulting, right, is going to be a little bit more smoother than you just run out there, or they trying to tell me what to do and I ain't got to follow their rules and they trying to tell me when I can come in and out the house or whatnot. So you want to go out there and get your own, which is fine. So make sure you pay that rent. Make sure you pay that light bill. Make sure you pay that electricity bill, that gas bill, your phone bill, your cable, right? Pay your Spotify's and all that, your Apple Music. Pay your bills, your car notes, your insurance. Pay it, and then come talk to us when you're done paying. And let me know if you still got money for that trip or that cruise. Let me know if you still got money to go out partying and drinking and eating up creation other than cooking meals at home. Let me know if you still got that money. I really want to know. Please come back and let me know. But a lot of times, 9 out of 10, you come back. You come back because you didn't really do what you needed to do to get out there on your own and to stay out there on your own. So again, you got to put yourself in a position of learning, right? And growing and developing. And then you have to put yourself in a position of being financially savvy, understanding checks and balances, understanding the difference between credit, right, and debit, understanding the difference between your APRs or whatever, what type of deals are out there when it comes to different phone plans, when you should be paying your bills, how to respond, right, and getting transactions done when something is wrong, when an error is on your account in any way. You must understand this. You must understand how to build your credit. You must understand things that will ruin your credit. This is all about being financially savvy. All right, so also understanding your taxes too. But let's move into the next thing. Personal responsibility. Personal responsibility. Okay. How do we start here? How do we start here and I be kind about it and be loving about it, right? Because we want to bring everything into love. Personal responsibility. Let's talk about this health, your well-being, right? Physically, emotionally, spiritually. That you want to make sure that you are healthy in all areas of your life, right? So if I'm coming into your space and I don't know when the last time you took a shower, because I never heard it going on. I never heard that water running. And there's a stench or an aroma that's coming from underneath those doors. There's an aroma that's following you as you're going throughout the house. There's an aroma, and it's not Jimmy Choo. It's not Jimmy Choo. It's not Victoria's Secret. It's not any of those things. It's just, it's a stench, that's not pleasant. However, you're out here in adulting, but I gotta say something to you about your body odor. I gotta say something to you about so you're gonna take those clothes off and you're gonna wash that laundry there. You're gonna get dressed today. You're wearing that to work, pajama pants. You're wearing pajama pants to work. Okay. Yeah, wonderful. Okay. Oh, you're going out there, Mrs. Wrinkle today. Okay, we don't have an iron here. It must be broke. Is it broke? Please let me know. We might need to get another one. So personal well-being. You're just gonna sit there and just consume, just keep eating, and not eating healthy and eating out all the time. You're not gonna exercise. See, you want to get these things under control. You want to get this flesh under control while you're younger. So when you get older, right, you don't have all these medical infirmities that's happening, taking all this medicine, or, be like, the people that I hear sometimes while waiting in line, they're talking about how they got to get back out there walking again and, doing all these things or whatever. Because of their blood pressure being high or whatever the case may be. How about we just do this on a regular basis? How about we just get up and we get moving every day and just stop playing around because we feel as though we have nothing to do? I have something for you to do. Come talk to me. Email me, call me, IM me. I have plenty for you to do if you feel as though there's nothing for you to do. But there is a lot for you to do. Even around your own house, there's a lot for you to do while your parent or your guardian is working. And in that, you want to make sure that you are being responsible for your personal areas in that household, and then also in the communal space that everyone else is in. It really does something to me, when I hear young people, say, well, I didn't that's not mine. I didn't eat here today. So, why I gotta worry about dishes? I didn't use that. That's not mine. So why do I have to pick that up? Why do I have to cut the grass? I mean, I'm barely here. I'm at work all the time. Sir, ma'am, do you live here? Do you live here? Do you live here? See, you gonna pay your way. As being personally responsible. Like I do a lot of things around my house that not necessarily me personally have made this mess, or I feel as though I have nothing to do with or responsibilities with, but I do it. Why? Because I want to make sure that I'm putting in the upkeep and the responsibility of the household overall to make sure that it keeps its value, to make sure that it's nice and pleasant for when people come in, even those that live here, even those that do not. But that's just having personal responsibility. And in that personal responsibility, you are understanding boundaries and you are respecting everybody that's around you. So what are those boundaries? Right? Asking for money, taking things out the house when you're not supposed to, those type of things. That's part of being responsible. So that's part of taking personal responsibility, respecting each other, respecting your parent or your guardian and still in their household. Those are the rules of their household. So if they're saying, hey, my door is closed at midnight, and if you ain't in here by midnight, then don't come up rolling up in here. Don't come up in here. You come up in here the next day. You trying to tell me? No, I'm telling you my door is closed at midnight. I'm at midnight. That's what I'm telling you. So that is part of personal responsibility. And also just having respect for one another, right? Like letting people know where you are at, because this world is crazy. Some of these people out here are crazy in these streets. So why not? If you're not doing anything wrong, is it going to hurt you to tell someone, hey, I'm going here to hang out or whatever? No, it's not. Is it going to hurt you to share your location? No, it's not. Like I said, I'm a good grown adult. I don't have a problem telling anybody where I'm at, because it's not a secret. It's not a secret, because I'm not out here doing something crazy. So that's the only way I feel like, you don't want nobody to know what you're doing, is when you don't want to share your location because you're doing something you ain't got no business doing. All right, so that's number 3. So number 4 is your social and emotional development, right? Building and maintaining healthy relationships with your family, with your friends, right? And even significant others, when you want to get into a relationship, right? Developing emotional resilience and conflict resolution, right? Again, that goes back to number 1. Like when you're learning and growing, allowing people to help you navigate, how do you begin to deal with conflict resolution, just even with your parents, right? You have a disagreement. How do you really deal with that, right? You have a disagreement with a friend. Like you might have been great friends in high school, and then you go off to school, you go to your separate ways, and then how do you deal with those conflict resolutions? Well, one thing is to be open and honest about how you're feeling, making sure that you're in a good space, you're not all emotional and all over the place, because we can say some things when we are not in a good headspace. And that goes into being sober-minded, meaning that you're not saying things when you're drunk. You're not saying things when you're high, right? You're not saying any of those things, because you will not be able to have a good coming to the meeting of the minds and come up with good resolutions to a relationship issue if you are impaired. I don't care if you have one shot. I don't care if you had one beer. I don't care if you had one blunt or whatever. You're not sober-minded. You're not sober-minded. And what is that? Okay, we're not going to talk about it today. We're not, because we ain't got time. We're already past our time, so we're not going to talk about, the is the smoking of the weed, because I don't understand it. I really don't. Um, because one, y'all out there on the street, right, getting it, and it's really not pure anymore. It's just not. It's just laced with all type of stuff, but y'all still want to do it. And then you want to talk about you need it to help you think. Well, that's the reason why you're getting what you're getting you're in the situation that you is, because it's helping you not think, because you're just making all types of crazy decisions. Or, oh, I'm sorry, for those of you that use it for medical purpose or whatever, again, I say it's an excuse, because you're yet still not using it properly. So I just don't know what is it about it. Like, what, I mean, it stinks, it smells, yeah, and then the fact that people like, oh no, I'm not doing it, but okay, I smell it. I smell it in your clothes. It's in your clothes. It's in your hair. It's in your shoes. It's in your fingers. Like, what? What are we talking about? But you out here talking about you, a good grown adult, but you need to borrow money. You need to borrow money, but you were just on a trip to Mexico. Well, my life's about to get shut down. Okay, what you want me to do about that? Was your lights about to get shut off before you went to Mexico? I just want to know. Well, I didn't pay for the whole thing. Such and such paid for this part. Did you pay for anything? Did you pay for anything? Because what you did pay, you could have put towards that light bill. So that goes back to personal responsibility, financial savviness, learning how to manage your finances. No one is saying that you can't, enjoy life. But the problem is that you want to have this certain lifestyle before you put in the work. You want to have it, right then and there, and not make your way there. Or you want to go get a credit card and swipe everything. I wonder if, I'm pretty sure, because I know you can do it through Cash App. But I wonder if you out there swiping, credit cards, to get your paraphernalia. I don't know what we doing out here. What are we doing out here? We are not out here adulting. We are not out here adulting. I'll tell you that. You are not an adult. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. But seriously though, we're going to continue this because I haven't even gotten to the other 4 things. And maybe we won't. Maybe we'll just leave it right here. You may not agree with me, but you really got to ask yourself, right? The 4 things that we already just talked about, right? Like, have you put yourself in a position to really get educated, right? And put your, to learn and to grow? Are you financially independent? Do you have a job that's really going to help sustain you? Okay. Do you have good financial management skills? Do you understand about budgeting, money ledgers, savings, and investing? Do you understand about taxes, paying your taxes, and financial responsibility? What about personal responsibility? Are you taking care of yourself? Can you get your own medical and dental and vision? Are you living independently from your parents, under their tutelage, under their household, and sharing in those household responsibilities if you're still living under their roof? And understanding, I didn't hit on this one, but we're going to talk about it. Understanding time management and time management. Like, I think y'all got all this time in the world, and you don't. You really don't. And you wonder why things fall through the cracks. But you got time to play that video game. You got time to be posting all day on social media. You got time to go out partying. You got time to go out drinking. You got time to go out playing ball. You got time to go out to the gym. You got all this time. But you don't have time to clean up. You don't have time to, take a shower. You don't have time to ask for more hours. You don't have time to go get yourself some more education so you can move up in that industry. You don't have time to go read and do your own research. But you got time for that, so you got time for that. Okay. Anyway, we got to stop. I love you. I really do. I'm not trying to, come for you in a negative light, but I'm trying to come to you, right, and let you know that stop talking about you're an adult, because you're not. You're not an adult yet. And if you want to become one, then let's start looking at those 4 things that we just talked about, because it's doable. But the question is, do you really want to do it, and stop being lazy and stop thinking that everything's got to be handed to you, because it doesn't. It doesn't. All right? I love you. I really do. And you got to take responsibility now. And us parents got to let you go. All right. Well, until next time, we're going to get into it. But like I tell you, we don't know what we're going to get into when we get in the Super Bowl. And let me tell you something else. Leading is teachable. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And until next time, blessings and peace.